The nervous system is one of the human organism's major controlling systems. The nervous system performs its activity via three overlapping functions. The first function is sensory reception. Whether it is sensing food in the mouth, sound in the environment, light, heat, touch, or any of a number of stimuli, parts of the nervous system are specialized to receive sensory input from the internal or external environment. Once received, sensory input must be interpreted. This process is called integration. For instance, when driving a car, your eyes, acting as sensory receptors, receive input when the traffic light turns from green to red. Your nervous system interprets the red signal to mean stop. This is a separate and distinct process from sensory reception and is carried out by a different structure, in this case, the brain. Our brain plays the major role of sensory integration. Sensory integration includes interpreting the meaning of the sensory stimulus as well as fashioning the response to the stimulus. The third function is known as motor output. Once the red light is perceived and interpreted, a motor response of applying the brakes is initiated. In this case, the muscles become the effectors. The complexity of the human body necessitates a complex controlling system. Let's say that I decide to open a small grocery store in my neighborhood. I open Steve's Bodega, and I attend to all aspects of the business. I do the accounting, purchasing, marketing, etc. My little grocery store is successful, and as long as I only have this one little store, I'm good. But because my little store is doing so well, I decide it's time to expand. So over time, I open 6 new locations throughout the city. Now I am Steve's Markets Incorporated. My business has become much more complex, and I can no longer do everything myself. I now have to develop a table of organization. I have to hire people to supervise different parts of the business and report back to me. I have to make sure I can easily guide these employees and maintain an executive control. They, in turn, need to have other employees that can carry out the business plan. The complexity of the business requires a complex controlling administration. This is no different when we consider the nervous system. The complexity of the human body requires a complex nervous system with a distribution of duties and responsibilities. The nervous system can be grossly divided into the central and peripheral nervous systems. The central nervous system consists of the brain and spinal cord. The central nervous system is indeed the integration and command center. It interprets incoming sensory information and dictates responses based on past experience, reflexes, and current conditions. The peripheral nervous system consists of all nerves that project from or to the central nervous system. The peripheral nervous system is responsible for sensory or afferent data, that is, data that is conveyed to the central nervous system for integration, and motor or efferent data, data from the central nervous system to the effector organs such as the muscles and glands. The motor division of the nervous system can be further separated into visceral and somatic. Somatic nerves conduct impulses from the central nervous system to the skeletal muscles, and visceral motor nerves conduct impulses to smooth muscles and glands. The visceral division can be even further subdivided into sympathetic and parasympathetic branches. Collectively, the visceral motor system is referred to as the autonomic nervous system, and it mediates the body's involuntary responses. The basic unit of the nervous system is the neuron. Neurons have three universal properties. Neurons are excitable. This means that nerves are sensitive to changes in the internal and external environment, as well as sensitive to the activities of other nerves. Neurons also have conductivity. This means that not only do nerves respond to stimuli, but they are able to transmit that response to other parts of the body. Finally, neurons are secretory. This means that for the most part, nerves facilitate their actions by producing and then releasing chemicals that have an effect on other structures such as glands, muscles, and other neurons. In accomplishing these goals, we note that nerves have some common characteristics. Neurons are amitotic, meaning that neurons do not reproduce. Since they do not reproduce, neurons have longevity. A single nerve cell may live and perform its physiological work for 80 or more years. Finally, neurons have high metabolic rates. Neurons require a continuous delivery of nutrients and raw materials necessary to perform its functions.